Students use YouTube for many reasons, especially for their learning purpose during online learning. Problem statement. Number 1. In using of YouTube application, there are also some problems faced by students, such as lack of teaching-related material, making them less to use YouTube. Problem number 2. However, there are students misuse this application, such as watching audio videos for learning purpose. And number 3. Not all students have good internet access. As we know, significance of the study is basically the importance of the research. Same here in our research, we also have the significance of study, which is the benefit of using YouTube in online distance learning, especially from the views of 4-year students from FPBU. It seems that using YouTube have many benefits, such as increasing understanding of online subject they have taken part. So it is very true if I say that using YouTube is effective student for online distance learning. Scope of the study. In this scope, we actually compile with all the respondents that last November 2020 up to February 2021. Our respondents selected is 4-year students from FPBU. In this research, we actually study about benefit of YouTube during online distance learning to students. Based on article from Margana which discusses about benefits using YouTube during online distance learning, students become interactive to learn. The short videos watched are very helpful to the students and can be watched again, and students will more easily understand what they had watched in the video. Next, based on article YouTube in the classroom, helpful tips and student perception from Lisa and Beckman. In this study explains that short videos of the learning process are better and there is no need to watch long videos, which makes it difficult to students to understand. Based on the article from Uda Omar Al-Wahabi explains about the variety of teaching resources that students can get by using YouTube. Next is conceptualization. This is the learning process which is the model of online learning is application of YouTube, especially for 4-year students in FPBU. The contents which are video learning, shared knowledge, assignment and quiz. After that, we can see the result of using YouTube for online learning will be interest for students. Also increase the creativity of learning. It can be increased the positive impact of the use of YouTube application. Lastly, it also improves students' reading as well as comprehension in textbooks. Using YouTube application for learning process, the student also can build their social process with each other they was using the online version. The fact is the connections that students make within and among concepts and principles can be realized in later sessions or release of a course. To show the YouTube application very advantageous for FPBU students to their learning process during online distance learning. This research is using by combined quantitative and qualitative methods. Quantitative methods is by using survey to the students to know the benefits YouTube to students during online distance learning. These surveys are conducted by the closed-ended question. For the qualitative methods using interview form open-ended question. (100 students were selected randomly by using self-administered survey via Google Form to answer the questionnaire. Pre-test data collection. Number 1, data was created to sample different by questionnaire and interview session. Number 2, the questionnaire was conducted via Google Form used to get respondents from 4-year students in FPBU. Number 3, 3 of the section is demographic information in section A, frequency in section B, and two-way question in section C in the questionnaire. Questions for interview session were also included to allow respondents or students the data that the questionnaire obtained was quantitative and qualitative this in nature. Next, data analysis technique. Number 1, after data had been collected from the sample questionnaire Google Form and interview session, the results and answers were exported into using SPSS data and Atlas TI2 data analysis. Number 2, before analyze, the data could be cleaned. This includes removing incomplete response clearly. Number 3, the data collection will analyze the data according to specific section based on two descriptive analysis. And the last, before any statistical test could be run, the questionnaire was given into a numerical legend and each question turned into a variable name. Validity and reliability. Number 1, this means need differ with lecturer or supervisor first to obtain confirmation on the validity of the facts and the validity of the content of the questionnaire and interviews question before to distribute question. Number 2, according to sekarang, the value of reliability is less of 0.60 is considered low and unacceptable. Number 3, alpha values between 0.62 to 0.18 are acceptable, while alpha values above 0.18 are considered very good. This research have used converged alpha values to determine the reliability of the questionnaire using SPSS statistics. In conclusion, from the chapter 1 is kind of finding to measure using YouTube among undergraduate 4-year students Arabic language and communication at the same time how YouTube videos can benefits to students. Number 2, next based on chapter 2 is by attach constructive theory as a learning process, especially in studying the advantages of using YouTube in online distance learning. And finally, in this research proposal includes Chapter 3 Research Design and Framework. What a research methodology used, sampling procedure, pretest, data collection, data analysis technique, validity and reliability about using YouTube in online distance learning about 4-year students in FPBU.